Okay, so the dogs were barking downstairs, and I just realized that my face has probably zero contrast right now because of the light coming in the background there. So in future videos, what I'll do is I'll have a different setup. But anyway, so what we're getting back at is, so we've got this earth pig year. So we've got this earth and we've got this water, mainly water energy that is dancing in a certain way. Now, it's not necessarily a reciprocal dance because earth likes to invade water. It likes to soak it up. It likes to get in there, anchor it, put it in its place, and capture it. That's a really good word to use. So it's a very pernicious pig. It's a pig. This year's pig overall for the entire year is one of self-reflection and of one that can hesitate at certain times. Now, this is a time where hesitation will be kind of strong because whenever there's a changing of the seasons, especially in areas that have 4 seasons, not just 2, the changing of the seasons itself ushers in a lot of earthly energy. And that earthly energy will be juxtaposed against the water momentum of the pig. The pig likes to go. It just goes where it can. It forages. If you look at an actual pig in nature, it has a very independent type of personality. It likes to go where it can. It likes to do what it needs to. And it can be very nurturing to certain people. This energy can also be not very nurturing for certain people. So let's take a look at the month we're in as well to get a little bit more clarity, because from everything I've said so far about the earth pig as a general kind of energy throughout the year, that's the first layer. So on top of that layer is going to be the month. So the month that we're currently in right now, which is the first month of the new year, is that of Yang Earth Tiger. So, excuse me, is that of Yang Fire Tiger. So the tiger itself is mostly Yang Wood, Yang Fire, and Yang Earth. So the cumulative type of personality that a tiger has embodies Yang Wood and Yang Fire primarily. So wood in general is just about collection. It's about complexity. It's about traversing new paths, finding new information, taking things from the environment and making sense of them. The two elements that really like to do that the most, which like to extract and derive from the environment and from the experiences that we have, are metal and wood. Now, those two elements themselves kind of clash in their own unique way as well. But like I was saying, this month is one of a Yang Fire Tiger, which is wood. So Yang Wood is very astute and very collected, and sometimes can be anger because collecting things requires you to bind the information or to bind the experience in a certain way. That's what wood energy is all about, which is also interesting because in Chinese medicine, the wood element is found in sour or astringent flavors, which you can see that kind of correlation there. But in a different realm with astrology, it means slightly different things for people and for energies themselves. So we've got the earth pig, which is right here. So we've got water and earth. And on top of that, in the month that we're in, we've got fire and wood. So we've got a lot of different energies that are contending with each other. But all in all of the water and the earth that's in this year, and especially with the transition from this month to the next month, or from this season to the next season, we have wood kind of reigning supreme, and there's a lot of fire going along too. So wood can feed the fire. Wood has plenty of earth around for it to stake its claim for, to have its canvas that it needs, because it has all this paint, all of this complexity, and all of this potential. But more importantly is it has an arena to enact it. So let's go to the day of this year. So far we've got the 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 Earth pig. So we've got the Earth pig year, which is Earth and water, and then we've got the month, which is a fire tiger, which is Yang fire and Yang wood primarily. And then today we've got something interesting. We've got a Yang water horse. We have a Yang water horse today. So that's really interesting because the horse itself is primarily yin energy. So in fact, the only two elements it has, which is yin fire primarily, and then secondarily yin earth, it's a very gentle receiving nature, but it's also intense. Yin fire is intense in the same way that embers are intense. The intensity doesn't come from the temperature itself, but it comes from the duration. Yin fire can last. It can smolder. It can take the form of an ember and spark something bigger if it needs to, or if it's in the presence of elements that can allow it to do so. However, all that yang water acts as a restriction mechanism, or we can say self-discipline. So today is going to have a lot of weird energy for people who are receptive to water and fire in particular. Water and fire are both elements of swiftness, but water and fire differ in their approach, which is why water invades fire. Fire is all about passion, fury, consumption, explosion, initiation, making something happen. When you go into your car and you pull the ignition creates a spark. The spark doesn't sustain the entire car, but it gets it started, right? Water can sometimes get in the way of fire in that sense, but fire and water both have that momentum. So we've got a lot of momentum as a potential, but we have basically two different sides to how we can see things right now. And we're going to be, there's a lot of people right now who are receptive to fire and water, or both, who are going to feel a lot of push and pull and tug and ebb and flow and like, should I do this? Should I not do it? Oh, I really want to initiate it, but am I doing it the right way? So they might feel a lot of stress or tension, basically. It's really all about tension right here and trying to release that tension. So everybody, use the energy to your advantage today. Get a chance to look at your own astrology to see what you've got going on, because again, what I say here is really general and can apply to certain people much more than others. And it really just depends on your whole enchilada. You know, if you go into the Chinese restaurant and you look at the placemat and you say, oh gosh, I'm a pig. I was born in the year of the pig. So does this mean that ABC, XYZ, what's written on the placemat is going to apply to me? It could. Maybe not. It all depends on the rest of everything else you have going on. So you have to look at the whole component, just like with holistic medicine. The reason that can help so many people is that it addresses everything simultaneously to look at all of the moving components. We've got several moving components in our Chinese astrology. There's 4 basic areas, which are the year, month, day, and time that we're born. So these are all significant to us. But right now, we've got the year and the month and today's day, which is really interesting, all coming to fruition, all coming to one place. And we're going to have to try and make the best of this flow, of this canvas, and of these resources.